What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over one of the biggest opportunities probably over the next week in the altcoin market. So I'm going to go over what I think is going to be one of the biggest gainers over the next week or month, but this is going to require a few things to happen. So I'm going to go over those things and explain to you why I think this coin has the potential to double or even triple in the next few weeks to months. So one of the biggest things that I talk about a lot of times is Ethereum tokens. So looking into these different tokens that are kind of mirroring the price action of Ethereum. One of the ones that I brought up and that I have been talking about on this channel consistently is Polygon, and today Polygon has doubled again. So basically from where I called this thing out and told everybody they should be looking to buy, which was back down in the 45 cents area. So I made a video about a month ago talking about how Polygon was basically just sitting in this range of 45 cents, and when Ethereum would go up, it would kind of get these pumps, but then when Ethereum would kind of crash, it wouldn't go as low as it wouldn't move. You know, it would basically just go down to 45 or 40 cents and it would kind of bottom out there. So you had this kind of upside action, whereas if Ethereum started running, Polygon would move higher, and then when Ethereum would go down, Polygon would basically just go back down to 40 cents. So you could buy in at the 40 cents, 45 cents area, I was saying, and then that would give you a good opportunity to get in at support and ride this thing up as Ethereum started to break out to new highs. And that's exactly what happened. Now, I didn't predict this thing would go all the way to $3. I thought after, this thing went to $1.50 or something, so that would be, a nice move. But $3, man, this thing is insane. Unfortunately, I didn't invest because at this time, I was kind of hoping to see Ethereum move, higher, and it did, but unfortunately this started ripping way too quickly. And that's one of the things about Polygon is it tends to move very quickly. When it wants to go, it goes. It doesn't give you an opportunity. Like, look at even today, right? Like, look at this spike. It goes from $3 to $3.41, right? And even off the open, so from $2.99 to $3.41, and that that's within minutes, right? And it's right back to $3, within an hour. And this is the kind of crazy price action that Polygon has. Mainly, it follows Ethereum, but the last couple weeks it's really just been breaking out on its own. So this has been one of the best plays that I've kind of called out over the past month, and it's been doing really well. One of the other tokens, this one is not an Ethereum token. This one is a standalone blockchain token, but Cardano was one of the other ones that I've been kind of talking about for the past month and a half or so. So I was giving this thing a buy around the 130s, telling people that when you look at the overall support chart, you had this kind of base around 130. So you had this good area of support in the 130s, and that's where I was buying, in the 130s and into the 150s as it started to break this high. So I was loading up down here, and as it popped up to $2, and I made this, talked about in my video the other day, that I sold some of my position as it broke $2, and then it ripped all the way to almost $3. And I still, am holding shares, but I didn't sell at $3 because I'd already covered some down here. So now I'm kind of waiting to see if I should add to this position. If it breaks down to $2 but then holds, maybe we can see a run up back to $3, right? So I'm still holding my position. I sold a partial, about a third of my position as it broke $2, but I'm still holding a majority of my position in Cardano, and I'm looking to add for the long term. So those are my updates on Cardano and on Polygon. Algorand was another one that I was talking about, and I still think Algorand is going to be a good play. Algorand typically trades like Cardano trades. They're both blockchain tokens, but Algorand has really just been trading in this range recently. It's kind of bottoming out around the $1.50, but it's kind of not being able to break above this 180 kind of level there. It did quickly to $2, but then came all the way back. So, this thing has a tendency to rip when it wants to, kind of like Polygon, and just kind of go crazy. So we might be setting ourselves up for another one of these big rips back over $2 to $2.50 or something. And if Ethereum holds up and Cardano holds up, I would expect Algorand to go on another one of these nice runs, right? When it rips from like $1 all the way up to 230, right? And that's when you want to be selling, is if you get another one of these big rips, into 250 or something. I would be looking to sell at least probably half of my position or something. But that's depending on what happens. I still want to hold though for the long run, because I still think Algorand is going to be, like Cardano, a good name to hold for the long term, at least for the next few months. But today I want to talk about another coin. I want to talk about something that I think is going to be the biggest gainer over the next few months. And the main reason why I bring this coin up is because it has been kind of lagging behind, and it does this consistently. This coin, I find, it has a tendency to kind of lag behind the other ones. So when the other ones start running, it doesn't quite run. It kind of holds back, but then when they start breaking out to new highs and consistently do it, eventually it just breaks. Right? So the coin I want to talk about today is Decentraland. So Mana is the ticker, basically, is the coin, but this is an Ethereum token, so it is a lot like Polygon, but unlike Polygon, it hasn't been breaking out to new highs, while Ethereum's kind of been stabilizing after it kind of had a fade. So we had this big fade in Ethereum, and Decentraland kind of tanked, and then it kind of had a pop, and now it's back down to these kind of levels where you're going to find support, right? So yesterday I was kind of looking at it around the 125 level, and I thought, man, it probably would have been a good buy around the 125 level, and it would have been a smart place to get in. So I'm looking at support being around the 125s, and that being your kind of low end support, but you're probably going to find support in the low 130s as well. So anywhere in there to me is a buying opportunity, and you can kind of see that it holds these lows, and then it kind of ramps up to $2 when Ethereum starts to run. So like I said, this kind of lags behind, and if Ethereum starts to break out to new highs, breaks 4,000 or 5,000 or whatever, this thing might take a few days, but if it holds up, this thing will then rip, right? It'll give you that huge rip, and it'll kind of follow suit. And it's been something that I think a lot of people have been pumping and have been looking at, because it is an interesting idea, and it's kind of a virtual world in which you can buy plots of land, or kind of like the NFTs. I don't really understand fully, but I understand that it is an Ethereum token that is powering the Ethereum network, and it is a very popular token in many different ways. The market cap is at 2.2 billion, so it is it's a quite, with 1.2 billion in circulation. There's a lot of it in circulation, right? It is a pretty popular token, but it is one of those ones that it lags behind. So I think if it gives us the opportunity, if Ethereum starts to break out to new highs, if you see Cardano, Algorand, and some of these other tokens starting to hold up well, then I think we can have a nice run on Decentraland. And with this kind of dip that we're in right now, with this nice dip we've had, so down to this 135 level, I think we're sitting at a good opportunity for a buy. And you could get in here and add if it dips down to the 120s, with that being your hard stop loss if it breaks down below the 120s. But obviously, that would mean Ethereum is also tanking, and probably everything else is as well. So take from that what you will, but just understand that at the end of the day, as long as you think Ethereum's going to continue to run, or at least going to consolidate and then start to slowly move higher, then I think it's a no-brainer that Decentraland is probably going to move higher, right? Move back to this high around $2, and if we can get a rip back up to the highs of $2, I think I think it would be a nice trade. And if we can get a rip above that, if it breaks that level, and if Ethereum keeps breaking out, and some of these other coins like Polygon, which is kind of the same thing, it's an Ethereum token, so it has much of the same similarities to Decentraland. And because, like I said, Decentraland tends to lag behind the other tokens, if Polygon keeps breaking out 50, 60, 100% a day, I think Decentraland will have the opportunity to kind of catch some of that sympathy momentum, right? And that's what we want to be playing in these, and that's why we simply just look for areas where we can get in, and then we buy into the resistance and we hold as it kind of rips, and as Ethereum and Bitcoin consolidates and makes new highs, this will follow suit, right? But obviously if Ethereum breaks down and we start to see new lows, or at least coming back down to like the 3,500, 3,000 prices, I think that you're going to have a bigger problem with the overall trend. But for the most part, I think Ethereum is going to hold up, and I think you're going to see these kind of levels of 130 acting as your ultimate support, and you can use those as good buying opportunities. So that's going to be it for my spiel here on Decentraland. So Mana being the ticker, it's a cryptocurrency that I think could 2x in the next month. You know, obviously this is just my advice, or this is just my opinion, sorry, not my advice. This is just my opinion. This is not trading advice. So take from it what you will. But in my opinion, this is a very solid buy in these levels. I would like to get it even a little cheaper, but essentially this is a nice range where you can catch some really nice upside, at least 50 to 75% upside from these levels here. And you know, that gives you a really nice trade if you can catch it. And if Ethereum, like I said, wants to break out to new highs and Polygon keeps kind of ripping, then this thing could easily 2 to 3x in the next month or two, right? This thing could go to $3 or $4 easily. If it breaks 2 and keeps going, just like Cardano did the other day, this thing could easily be at $3, $4 in the next 6 months. So that's just something to keep in mind. And, you know, keep it on your watch list. I'm not saying buy it, but I'm saying if you got some extra money and you're not really, you know, you're kind of wanting to test the waters and you're looking for a good altcoin that you think might provide some upside in the next few weeks, I think you can look no further than Decentraland. And yeah, so if it goes back down into the 120s, I guarantee I will be buying some. That is my promise to you. And if it stays around this level for the next few days, I'll probably add in the 130s and see if we can catch a rip if Ethereum holds up. So that's my plan. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, that's it. Have a good one, guys.